In this Algebra 1 video, we're going to be taking a look at what we call the order of operations, which is the official and proper way of solving longer problems that we're going to be dealing with a lot more frequently now. So, when it comes to solving a problem, you may have multiple different operations. You might have multiplication, you might have division, you might have all these different things mixed up in one specific problem. So the order of operations sets a standard and a set of guidelines in order to solve these complicated problems. So in the order of operations, it basically guides you in how to solve. And there is a list of steps and conditions you check in order to see what you do next. So when you solve a problem, the very first thing you're going to be looking to solve are the parentheses. And the very next thing after that you're going to be looking to solve after you do everything within parentheses is solve for any exponents that you have. So you're going to want to make sure you solve for those. Then you're going to want to solve for any multiplication that you have within your problem. Then furthermore, after multiplication, you want to solve for any division you have in your problem. Then you would go to addition, and then you would go to subtraction. And in a really easy way to remember this is PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. This is the order of operations. So let's take a look at an example of one of these problems. Let's say we are given the problem 3x to the second power plus 4, and we're solving for when x is equal to 4. Now, according to the order of operations, the first thing we would have to look to do is solve for any situation where we have a set of parentheses. And clearly, we don't have any parentheses in this equation. So the very next thing we're going to be looking to solve is for our exponent, where x is squared by the power of 2. So we know that x is equal to 4, so we have to solve for that parenthesis. Let's actually fix this. Let's plug in 4. And if we continue writing this, it would just be just like this. So we have to solve for our exponent. So 4 to the second power is going to be 16. Now, after we've solved for our exponent, we kind of are left with nothing really in the middle here because there is no clear operation and what to do next. But we know from multiplication that if a number such as 3x are written right next to each other, we know that means to multiply. And the same thing applies for if we had a parenthesis here. We know to multiply the outside number right here, 3, to whatever is within the parenthesis. So these are two different ways of writing multiplication. So we know that we're going to be finishing this a little bit right here with multiplication. Now, let's check. We did the parentheses, we took care of our exponents, and now we have to move on to multiplication. So let's go ahead and let's multiply 3 times 16. That is going to be 48. So this is equal to 48. And after we did that, we check for division. There's no division. And let's see what's next. Is there any addition? Well, of course, we have to add our final 4 right here. And that's going to be equal to 52. Now let's take a look at another example. Let's take a look at one with division within it too, because division can obviously spice things up a little bit. Let's say we had the problem 32 divided by x to the second power minus 1. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look at our order of operations. Do we have any parentheses in this problem? No, we do not. So the next thing we can do is solve for our exponent. Okay, so x is going to be equal to 4 once again. So let's go ahead and let's write this out. It's going to be 32 divided by 4 to the second, and then once again bring down the minus 1. So let's go ahead and solve for this. We know 32 is going to be divided by 16, just like we did up here, because that's what 4 times 4 is, 4 to the second power, divided by 16 minus 1. Okay, so we took care of our exponent. Do we have any multiplication? No, we do not. Do we have any division? Yes, we do. We have 32 divided by 16. Now 32 divided by 16 is going to come out to equal 2. And then we just have to bring down the minus 1. Do we have any addition? No, we do not in here, but we do have subtraction, the very last thing to take care of, and that's going to be equal to 1. So using the order of operations is a very simple and easy way to go by solving your problems. Now you may be wondering, well, let's say we're left with a bunch of different of the exact same operations. Let's say we're left with multiple subtractions within a problem, or multiple additions, or multiple divisions, whatever it may be. So let's actually do an example problem of this. Let's say we had 40 minus 3 minus 2. Now, if we go by order of operations, there are no parentheses, there are no exponents, there is no multiplication, division, or addition. There is no division, addition, nothing left from the order of operations. So we're only left with subtraction. So how would we go about solving this problem? Well, there's actually a rule. I'm actually going to write it over here for you. You work left to right only, this is very important, when there are no other steps left. No other steps left. So, in this problem, of course, we don't have any multiplication, division, we don't have anything left. So we have to work left to right. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be subtracting 40 minus 3. 40 minus 3 is going to come out to be 37. And then now we can do the very last bit of subtraction here. 37 minus 2 is going to come out to be 35. And the same would apply if we were doing this in a addition problem as well. Let's actually do this problem with addition. Let's say we had 40 plus 3 plus 2. Well, this is really going to be equal to, left to right, we have to do 40 plus 3, and then we add whatever that is to 2. So 40 plus 3 is equal to 43, and then add that 2, and we're going to be getting 45. So if you can simply remember PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, and subtract, you can really go ahead and you can solve any form of problem and any complicated equations. This is very important. And then furthermore, remember, if after you've done everything here and you only are left with subtraction or addition, anything like that, you would go from left to right.